Oh,
Yo, yo.
here we go.
That felt like forever.
It did, and then it ended very abruptly. I was expecting to like fade out, not just mid beat. I said, "Oh, okay."
So, what is on the agenda for today, huh?
So I put in the announcement. Obviously, this week we've had some big additions feature-wise. We've had gun game added to Arena, and then a couple of things. Let me get the patch.
Morgan overhauled the housing user interface,
Mm-hmm.
which was a pretty big, challenging change. Putting more things on the aux UI.
Yeah. So yeah, big one, obviously, gun game. So those that haven't tried it yet or don't know what gun game is, it's not a new concept. Lots of shooter games have it, but essentially you start the game with like a really good weapon, and each kill you get, your weapon is essentially downgraded until at the end you just have a melee weapon, and to win the game you have to get that last melee kill. The way we've got one map set up for it at the moment. We're using the Asylum. As of the next restart, the basement will no longer be flooded. I haven't put any spawn points in there. I might not, just to keep it a bit more compact, because it might be a bit too spread. But that's getting fixed. Our game mode will start with 6 players, but it will also support up to 24. The most I've seen in a match is around 15, 16, and it's pretty crazy. So I don't think I might reduce that, although I haven't heard anyone complain that when there's that many, it's not fun. I think the more people there is, the crazier it is. It's not really a competitive game mode, it's more fun. There's no MMR or anything like that, so it is just for fun.
I wish there was more of it. I want to play more of it, to be honest. There's not enough people queuing for it right now.
I agree. Sometimes I'll go in there and just sit in the queue to wait for a game, and then when the game gets started, a couple of matches will happen. People will keep playing for a little bit, but I agree. I wish there was more people playing it, because it is fun. Then sort of not part of that patch, but part of the next one that is already live. We've added some sound effects. So there's a level up sound for gun game, and then a game over sound for all games, and then I think so. There's also kill streak announcers, like double kill, triple kill, whatever, all the way up to 10 kills. I've heard it in every game mode apart from gun game, and I think it is playing in gun game, but I think the level up is playing on top of it, and is either drowning it out or it's just not playing at all because of the level up sound. So I don't know whether to only play the level up sound if a kill streak sound isn't going to play, or delay it. Or I'm not sure what to do about that yet.
It's not possible to have both sounds going at once.
Well, I think maybe I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's something I need to look into, because I know I thought it was broken when I was trying to set it up, and then I had somebody stream up who was playing Arena, and I heard them get the double kill. I was like, bro, I've had about 3 double kills in this gun game. Why am I not hearing it and he's hearing it? And I think the level up sound is why.
Gotcha.
Yeah. We fixed the crew MMR stuff for Gang Wars, so that's working now. I also made it so that anybody at 1400 is not listed on leaderboard, because we just had a shitload of empty gangs on it. So now you can see, at the moment, you can pretty much see every gang that's taking part in Gang Wars. So you can see top to bottom. So it looks much better.
Let's see.
I think you added 2 new maps to the Gang Wars rotation, so we've got that as well.
Haven't heard anything about it.
Yeah, neither have I.
Also, I didn't get to it, but that was last week.
Yeah. The Honey Badger, that was in the gun game as well. I've heard a lot of people talking about that. Mainly asking when a Crim's getting it. Kay's been redoing all of the laser maps, so she's made them bigger, just based on feedback, more open. I've heard mostly good things about that as well. I liked them beforehand, but I did see the issue with the walls. The walls definitely need load. They are definitely better like that. So that's good.
One thing I just noticed when looking at the Gang Wars MMR page, it's not displaying crew logos on the Gang Wars page that are showing on the top 10s list. So like crews that have a logo that and it is working on the top 10s list aren't showing up on the Gang Wars list, like next to their MMR.
Really, I
Just
wonder.
showing the default one.
I'll have to logic for that. I don't know why that would be.
Yeah, I wrote it down. I just noticed it when I was checking them out.
All right. Okay, cool. I'll check that. Yeah, not sure why that would be. Another one that's come that's not part of this patch note but is live is the new kill cam. So previously, after you get killed in arena, the camera pans to whoever killed you and follows them for a couple of seconds. Actually, followed them until the end of the game, or they died previously. Now it just does it for around 2 seconds, and then it'll switch to your allies. And if the ally you're watching dies, it'll switch to the next ally, etc., until the game's over. Right now, games only have up to 2 teams anyway, apart from gun game, which doesn't have kill cam at all. So there's no issue there. In the future, if we have a game mode where there's more than 2 teams and your team's just completely dead, I'll probably have to tweak that so that maybe you just get a generic view, top-down view of the map, or maybe it can just start following random people. I don't know. Future problem.
Yeah.
I would like. It's very easy for me to like spool up a 3v3v3 or something, but the main thing stopping me from adding all these game modes and going crazy is there's not enough people playing it, and which is weird to say because there's loads of people playing Arena, but to populate all these game modes and have people having fun and coming back, the matchmaking needs to be quick.
Yeah.
And like gun game is really fun and it's really good, but if you're stuck in the queue for it and nobody queues for it, people will just stop queuing for it altogether, and then all of a sudden that game mode was pointless. So I'm hesitant to add any more game modes right now. I want to leave it and see how it goes. And that's not to say that there won't be any more arena updates. We're still definitely adding and fixing things. I've been, like I said, the kill cam thing was the latest tweak. I've adjusted quite a few things, but kind of hesitant to look at any additional game modes until we see. I'm not 100% sure how to fix that, because at the same time, it's not the server's primary focus. So it's a weird one to address. Like, we've added it to prison, obviously, so if there's people in there, that's a great place for someone to be like, okay, well, I'm stuck here for an hour and a half, I might as well arena. And then you've got all the diehards that are in the stadium all day playing arena, which is awesome. But it's how do we get other people to play it but not only play it, I guess. I don't know. Got to find a weird sort of balance.
Yep. I was thinking with the amount of game modes we have at this point, it wouldn't hurt to have like 2 different interactions with the arena lady, like Q unranked games, Q ranked games.
I was thinking of redoing that interaction and maybe making like a pop-up NUI or changing it somehow, because I agree. The more game modes you get in there, it's already kind of confusing. It's got multi-select, so you can select more than one, but it's still not super clear, and the ordering seems to be random every time you talk to them as well. I don't know. Not a huge fan of it, but that's definitely one of the improvements on my radar, I guess.
What do you think about adding like a skill for the arena, just so that there's some kind of like long-term gain for playing games and you get some kind of experience, just to like, not that the skill would actually give you anything right away, but just like at a minimum, you can make it so that to play ranked gameplay, you need to hit X amount of level in the skill from playing unranked games like gun game or any unranked modes.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess that'd be a good way to counter people that are coming in and cheating specifically for Arena. I know there was a few murmurs of it when we first released Arena. I haven't really heard anything of it since, but it's what a lot of competitive games do. They force you to get to like level 50 before you can even play, which, to be honest, I usually dislike, but I understand the reason for it.
It's like when
And
it's so high, but I think with our
it's
lower player count, it doesn't need to be that crazy high.
no, of course,
Just a little bit of playing.
yeah, I don't know. Worth thinking about, I guess, for sure. I don't know what a skill like. I suppose it's just a leveling system in general,
Yeah,
right? It
that's
doesn't
what
have to do
you have an
anything.
arena level.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, yeah, sure. That was something. Another thing I've been thinking about for. I don't know. I've got loads of things sort of floating around in my head for Arena, and I just kind of do them bit by bit in random order, really. Oh my god. But yeah, no, for sure. Because there's other stuff I'd love to do. I'd love to have like arena specific unlocks. Whether the because now that we can do like texture whitelisting, unlocking things, like if at the end of the season the top 10 players get something, that'd be fucking cool. What that is, I don't know.
Okay, in general, we could have some. We could start with like a basic arena shop that, like for example, just like gold camo for the base GTA 5 weapons, platinum camo for the base GTA 5 weapons. I think those are. It still work on the micro SMG and the machine pistol, which people still use frequently, so it has some value there. There's a new SMG that came out from Rockstar that we can add as well. That where those would work. So it would be a newer weapons that would have desire for players, and this camo option from Arena.
Yeah,
I just the whole what kind of currency do you gain, and how do you spend it? Because if it's an
sure, yeah.
auction shop, it has to be cash, unless you tie in some kind of like level to it. But then, what's the stock count? All this kind of stuff is just a little complicated.
Yeah.
But I'm down. I mean, even if we want to have a basic level shop where you could just get some stuff.
Yeah, I'm happy. Like, absolutely. It ties into the other thing I've been kind of talking about. And we want to figure out how we can do these sort of like if Kaylee can start making, for example, weapon skins that are actually unique and cool, awesome. Same for like if we can start doing like, if there was like a vest that was textured for like arena champions of per season or something, that's a cool fucking unlock to get. Granted, for gangs, if it's not in your gang colors, maybe it becomes a bit of an issue. So I don't know, but
I mean, well, I don't think gun skins is happening, unfortunately. At least with any of our current guns, I don't think it's happening.
like,
Not because of anyone's capabilities. I just don't think it's possible, especially with encrypted
oh,
weapons. Um, I've never seen the addition of custom skins for GTA 5 weapons, unless maybe it was a replacement. But I don't know anything about adding on new skins for default weapons.
oh, interesting. I'm sure I've seen skinned weapons before, but
Yeah,
it could be a complete weapon replace.
I've seen like people sell guns with crazy skins, but that's just like a single gun with a single skin.
Right. Hmm.
I don't know. I think we can still integrate stuff like that. I just don't know if we're gonna be able to go into such specific detail with it. Um, but like for the clothing whitelisting, for example, like there's tact vests that we give out to anyone, and also VIPs. Those are some things that players could earn some kind of currency to purchase the access to those. It could even be seasonal, so that they only have those unlocked, those vests unlocked for the season, for example. Just different ways to get it, or to encourage people to do this activity to get some clothing that they might like. They can even use
Yeah.
your profile.
Melee weapons is a good idea, Thomas. Yeah, that's another one that's not like super OP. That could be a bit of a fun one. I know everybody likes the samurai swords and whatnot.
Also, like You can unlock the capability of having like a camo always on your gun if applicable. Because in arena matches, there are certain guns that can have skins, and you would be noticed differently if your weapons always had like a
Yeah,
gold camo on it.
yeah, for sure. There's loads of like. I definitely want to do a bunch of customization stuff in the arena. I've already talked to you about ideas for quite a few different things. I don't know how long it's going to take to do all these things. Like I said, I've got a bunch of different sort of ideas. I kind of pick away at them bit by bit. The camera thing is really a prerequisite of something else. But basically, just working towards big things essentially. Same way we do anything really, like pick away at it until we get where we want. But
For sure.
yeah. Outside of Runa, I added 3 new NPCs to the airport. They can only be seen by freshly made characters. They're all voiced. I literally just did the rounds on Twitch and got people who were streaming to do it for me. So we ended up getting Total Ghost, Maverick, and Dave. You've got a good idea for the one NPC that doesn't really do anything at the moment. It's on the trailer. I like the idea. I want to get it done. Just need to figure out how best to do that, but it's a really good idea because it kind of it shows people how the ideas work, and it just
Hopefully, it gets rid of the blank IDs.
yeah, well, for sure that yeah. And obviously that was kind of my like when you guys did bartering. I always said I wanted to sort of pick that system up and use it for some sort of new player tutorial. I now know how all that works now, and I think my next sort of big project is probably going to be some sort of like don't really want to call it a questing system, but a questing system.
Tasks,
Yeah, for new. I'll be starting with new players, so I'll probably start at the airport, and it's gonna be a way for new players to introduce them to the different jobs. And it's just, I think when a new player joins, it can be very overwhelming not knowing what to do. And if you have a sort of little nudge to say, "Hey, go pick up this truck and take it here," and sort of ease you into some of the jobs and introduce you to them, then great. It's also just another way like of getting people because a lot of servers work differently. A lot of people come in and they're like, "How do I get a job?" And it's like we don't have this job menu system that some servers have. We work completely different to that. You can be a trucker and a fisher and a miner all at the same time. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Um,
Still work.
yeah. So kind of easing people into that is definitely a goal I'd like. I always think it's like, yeah, people per day that have never played STRP before, or something crazy like that. And it's like we definitely don't have 100 people staying per day.
Right.
Retention is going to be high. Obviously, there's people that come in and are just not intending to stay, and either cheaters or trolls or just server hoppers, whatever. But for the ones that are interested, the more we can do to keep them, the better.
For sure.
And then moving on, yeah, we had the property update stuff. So Morgan added shop upgrade for webhooks so people can get their item transactions. Yeah.
Yeah. Anytime anyone purchase something from a shop, then you can get like a little feed in your Discord channel.
Yeah, which I imagine for power users of shops will be really handy because you can now track when your shop is running out of stuff or how kind of gives you better idea of what's selling, how often, what times.
Yeah, if you have no idea if nothing is sold or not, you don't know if you need to restock. But if you're like, oh, I just sold 5 guns, I know I only stocked 6, I'm pretty low.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure. And yeah, like you mentioned earlier, all the UIs for the property stuff has been replaced. So we've got rid of the old DSX ones in favor of the Ox stuff. We had a couple, I think 2 days of early restarts because some of that broke stuff, but I think it's all there now. And that's just another part of the whole thing we've been doing lately, where we're replacing old dependencies and stuff, and moving towards sort of more modern approaches. So it's another good one ticked off. I think that the Ox UI is way nicer and modern than DSX shit, so it's good. We've got one more gang HQ added. We've got the warehouse on Buccaneer. And then like I said, performance changes. So the drug script got updated. We got rid of the last of the polyzone stuff, so we're now completely using Ox zones. So we managed to get rid of polyzones and BT polyzones, so 2 resources just completely removed. And then during some, I can't remember what was going on. We were just doing a random performance log, I think, and we saw a spike, and it ended up being a networking call for vehicle names. So we've changed the way that network call is handled now. So, we're just chipping away at it. Everything's definitely moving in the right direction on that front. Kelly fixed some collision issues to free up space for additional warehouse HQs that were previously blocked, so that's good. We've got a couple of new pads. One of them has been a bit what's the word?
Well, that was sorry.
We've got 2 new pads. One of them's a midget, and it's been a bit controversial. That's the word.
Yeah. It's like it's lower. I can't aim with it. My aimbot doesn't lock on that low.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I've been playing a pad for months. We've got a bunch of midget pads. Sorry, I've been playing a midget pad for months, and we've got a bunch of others in the PD that have too. And it's not really been an issue until now. Granted, this will be the first one that's really rocking up to red zone, so I understand that it is different. I don't fully agree that it's super OP. I can tell you there's plenty of positions I play in as that pad where I can't shoot at all, and I just get destroyed. But equally, I accept that there will be positions that pad can get into that others can't, that might be better. So I think it works both ways. I don't think it's inherently better. But yes, I guess its hitbox is going to be smaller because it is smaller. So yeah, I don't really agree. Yeah, I don't really agree that it's paid to win. I don't think
it was like a public thing, and like everyone now became a short character, and that was just a whole meta shift. And yeah, maybe could do something about it. It's like one.
And that's the thing. There is only one of them, so
yeah,
it is what it is. Like I said, we don't have any input on what pads this guy. We're on a subscription. We get all his pads. We list them all. Some are popular. Some sit there for a little while. At the end of the day, when we did the image fit, when we listed it, I didn't think of any of these things. I didn't think there'd be any complaints because we've had midget cups for ages and it's never been an issue. But
yeah,
I've said we'll keep an eye on it. If you have any crazy clips, sure, let me see them. Worst case scenario, if it is super broken, we can let this guy's subscription play out and then remove it. I don't think that's going to be necessary, but we'll see how it goes, I guess.
Yeah, complaints are a little far-fetched.
Yeah, I think
it's like I died and there happened to be a short person here. OP, pay to win.
Yeah. And then Alan's changed it so that only the owner of a vehicle and mechanics can change vehicles now. That was another prerequisite to something else later on we were looking at. Essentially, we want to be able to get, in the same way we were talking about weapon skins, we would like you to have liveries that can be unique and locked either behind rewards or gangs. It'd be cool to have gang liveries and stuff. Maybe it's an unlock in your gang leveling system. Don't know. either way, it's a cool thing to do. However, obviously with vehicle liveries, especially a gang one, it's a little bit tricky because it'd be per car, so it's not like you're all gonna have the livery. You know, you will if you all buy the same car, but other than that,
I think if like realistically how it would be like every season there'd be a singular vehicle that you could unlock
yeah,
with your gang level, and maybe if you hit another gang level, you'll get a special livery for it as well. But it'd be a single vehicle, and it'd be liveries for just that vehicle.
yeah.
There's no way we could be like, all right, here's 25 cars we can do liveries on. There's no way.
Oh yeah. Oh no, for sure, for sure. It'd be preset things. Like would do a specific car at a time or something, and obviously there's going to be a limit to how many liveries a car can have. I don't know what it is. I think it's lower than what the limits are for clothing. I'm pretty sure.
For sure, it's like 20. It's like, I don't know. I've seen up to like 18 to 20, I think, on a car.
Hmm.
So I'm not too sure what the number
That's
is.
more than expected, to be honest. But still, either way, it will definitely be limited.
There's like default GTA cars with like up to 20 something liveries.
Okay, cool. Fair. Oh, actually, yeah, I think I've seen some of the like DLC cards with a bunch on them, like Christmas ones and stuff. So yeah, true. And then the last thing in that patch was the M4's recall got slightly buffed after its previous nerf. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
know, we'll see. It's either Crim's complain or PD complains. You know.
That was that patch. Yeah.
Kind of soft rolled out the appeals portal. Or
yeah.
Is that the last patch that you were talking about?
Yeah, he's put that in the new patch. That we've not posted patch notes for it yet, but
okay.
We've got the appeals portal working now.
I think we're still just directing Discord related people to that portal.
If you make a support ticket, there's a pre-death reply thing you can do to send them to appeals now, and that's what I've been doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we talked about it briefly last week, but it's going to be huge for players and staff. Really, it's just fuck the forum, really.
just ideally, just more user friendly. I guess you just
like you log in with Discord. You don't need to go register an account. It knows who you are, who your characters are, where your bans are. You can just hit appeal on them. Staff can see all the appeals directly for them that need their attention. It's just way for everybody involved. It's a better process. Yeah, and I know he's not stopped working on it. I know he's been adding like basically a forum system to it now where you can talk back and forth.
Yeah, the discussion section is really nice.
And put private notes on it and whatnot. So that's all really good. So yeah.
I just seen the new loading screen for it for the first time. Looks cool.
Yeah, there's some really nice images on it. When I was hitting refresh on it, when they got put in, just look at them, I was thinking, we really need to update our loading screen images at the very least. Do. I know we want a new loading screen in general, but those images I might steal them for the loading screen, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, loading screen images are so out of date.
Yeah, they're really old. Yeah.
I'm still working on that car pack.
Oh yeah. So I sent you. I think it was this morning. I sent you the updated ones. I think you actually updated them a day or two ago, but he didn't ping anybody, and I only noticed the message this morning. I was like, oh shit! So I downloaded and sent you it.
Yeah, we might need to talk to them about the PD car because honestly, I don't know what its deal with or what its deal is. To be honest, it's a strange one. I thought it'd be an easy fix, like usually whenever there's a light issue, but I don't know why it requires a whole resource restart to get it to work.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, and they were working before, definitely, because I was flying around with them. Well, the car anyway, not the bike. But yeah, now
Your
they just
level?
don't work. And no, on I used them on this on live.
Is that when it was the individual resource?
Yes.
Hmm. I wonder. Might have to send me that over at some point so I can maybe compare if there's something different between the two.
Sure, I can do that. Let me find it. I'm probably have it. I'll do it now, so don't forget.
Cool.
What is that thing called? Here it is. Cyber wide body. That's
Cipher
no.
M90 unmarked.
Yeah, there it is. Okay. There you go. Send in.
Yeah, I've been making good progress. All the cars that were working with no issues, I pretty much got them all. I have all their information collected, so when I do add them to the database, it'll be easy. These other 4 cars from another pack, they're already in the database, so they're kind of closer to being sorted. But I still need to kind of like in detail look at them and see which of these could be a replacement for marked vehicles that we have. That's kind of the main task, I guess. And then
Yeah. Yeah. No, the devs are responsive and receptive, so I'm happy that they're quick to accept and fix any issues that you're finding.
yeah,
Strange that nobody else has ever reported any of these issues to them, but
either the people who are buying them have low quality assurance,
yeah,
or just don't care. I don't know.
yeah.
Even so, they've been fixing the stuff. I'm not like, ooh, I can't wait for the next thing. I'm still not that interested in them, unfortunately.
Fair
I
enough.
don't know. It's just like it's nice that they're kind of lore friendly and they're you know debadged or badged with branding or lore branding, but I don't know. They're just kind of just still that mid quality. And if they're actually lore friendly, like based off of lore models, I feel like they should be able to use the lore modifications.
Mm.
Most like every single
But
GTA car has tons of mods, and these just like don't. They might
the
have
way
maybe an extra fender, but that's it.
the way I was looking at them, like I think they've started with like a real car. So that undercover car I'm using, I think that started off as a BMW, but they've
I think they're older
changed.
ones for sure.
I think they've changed. Well, the headlights aren't the old BMW headlights or the new ones. There's some sort of in between. Like they've tried to make it look kind of like it with they've kind of gone Halo, but with the new sort of jagged lines. It's unique, it's different, but you can still kind of tell that it's a BMW. So I think they've done it the right way. It's not going to be inflicting on any IP,
No.
and you can still look at it and be like, oh yeah, that's a Beamer, although it's not. But you get what I mean. Like the same way GTA do it, right? Like some of the cars you look at it and you're like, oh, this is whatever in real life. Some of them are wildly different, but there's enough that are similar, and you kind of know what car it's based off of, or cars.
Hmm.
But yeah, and some of them, I like. I agree. Like some of the interior, some of them, like was looking in the backseat of one of them, and I was like, ooh, that's low quality.
Yeah.
At
Just
the same time, it's not that often that you're looking inside the car, I guess. When you're first person shooting, I guess you will, but it's not really what you're focusing on.
yeah.
And at the end of the day, like when you're trying to chase lower polygons and whatnot, and just chase performance, those are sacrifices that do need to happen. Like at the end of the day, if you've got 100k in backseat polygons, fuck them.
Yeah, it's just the overall quality of the vehicle is kind of going to go down. I think like the Gabs cars, I think they're kind of like slightly there's like a word for it where like you take like an old textured thing and you 4K it. I feel like they remastered the default interiors from GTA so that like they are like the low poly GTA interiors, but like they kind of spruced them up a little bit so they don't look so
hmm
old and crusty like
hmm
some of the other or
Sure.
like so
Yeah.
low textured. Um, I think more of that is probably gonna what we're gonna see. But these guys are kind of I wouldn't call them amateur, but they're like more entry level. They're learning a lot still, I think. The fact that they aren't checking those things that I'm reporting to them themselves tells me that they're more on the, newer side of things, I suppose. Like who doesn't shoot their windows to see if they break, and like who doesn't cycle through the window tinting? Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess after I've unpacked like 400 cars and gone through
Yeah,
them.
well, yeah, exactly. I don't,
straightforward.
but you, yeah, you've obviously done a lot of cars over the years, so
Yeah.
I'm sure you've got a process to it locked down. But that's good, obviously, because it means cars that aren't fit for purpose don't make it anymore, and I think it's really good that we have those sort of like checks in place. We've obviously made some mistakes long ago, adding things, and they're just not suitable at all. I
Yeah,
remember the
there's
bugs
always
being
an
an
annoyance.
absolute
I'm like,
disaster.
yeah, I don't want to deal with these annoyances. So I'm just gonna make sure I'm not releasing anything that.
Yeah,
I didn't check the back window if it's bulletproof, and for some reason, cars of all the windows, it's just the back ones when it is that
yeah,
issue. I'm like,
yeah,
fuck.
yeah.
Yeah. Someone was asking about I think the PD electric car, and then Callum kind of have a PD car question. I did buy the electric car the captains were requesting. I think other officers probably requested to them. And it's kind of like in a test phase right now where some people know the spawn code and have been trying it out. I've gotten some feedback. Um, and kind of tie into Callum's question is the requirements. It's like it's tough. Just looking at an image and the details they give you, everything seems all gravy. Like especially the one that the captains recommended. I bought it. Just looking at it, it looked like it was gonna be good. But then like the windows wouldn't break. Any of the tinting levels is a full blackout inside as well, so it's terrible for first person shooting. The dev was willing to fix the windows breaking, but he wouldn't change the tinting. And then now I've kind of found out that like the collision box around the vehicle is larger, fairly larger than itself. At least Alex sent me a screenshot of how it was colliding with the vehicle when it wasn't touching it, I guess. So I don't know. It's like it can be deceiving. Um, I don't know. And like the lights that they use for this car are kind of just like base GTA lights, so they're not like really impressive looking or anything. The reflection isn't that great.
Mm.
Um,
It's
yeah, I don't know.
like the car dev that's done the majority of our cars at the moment. I really like all the quality of those cars.
Yeah, yeah.
He has a big selection. We have a lot of cop cars, but it's not like we have a shortage. The only reason people want more cars now is just wanting more cars. It's not because we need more cars. But because they all come with that same sort of like call time feature on top, that's now almost mandatory if we add in more cop cars. And I know that one does have it, but it's almost mandatory because I know the dev we were just talking about, their cop cars don't have that. I showed them it and they liked the look of it, but that's almost mandatory now. Like we need the call signs on top of the cars, but their cars are all good quality, and even the liveries they come with, we've used a bunch of them or tweaked them in whatever way, but they come good. And so it's hard to like shop around because you want your cars to all look and feel the same and like they belong in the fleet together, rather than here's a random Ferrari cop car that just is completely out of place.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, that guy, he's kind of I don't know if he's MIA. I wouldn't say he's MIA, but he's been quiet for a while. He's taken a lot of his products off his store. And he's been in
I
the
see.
process of like remaking a bunch of them. I think because originally he debadged and then rebadged with lore friendly.
Maybe
But
he's
I think there was some concerns that maybe it wasn't quite enough. So I think he's been for a long time now in the process of kind of just redoing his fleet.
sure.
So
I
there's
wonder
been
if
no
he's
new additions,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
yeah. I was gonna say I know I can't remember what his name is. I'm sure I was following it for a while, but yeah, I haven't seen much in a while because I know he started to do ambulances and stuff.
Or
Um,
something.
but um, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if he's gonna go redo actual models because I know they've said it. Debadging isn't enough. But I wonder if he'll do what that other car mod guy did. I don't remember his name because I left all his shit. Like after he tried to charge people for a third time for the same cars, it's like, bro.
Oh, you're talking about Armand?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's gonna charge again for them.
He put all of his old non-compliant stuff on a Patreon, and then now he's been releasing some cars on his Tebex shop. But yeah, he's not giving anyone free upgrades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I was saying, I wonder if our car guy will.
Yeah, I don't know. It's Car Labs is Tebex, at least is Car Labs, the cop car guy. I don't know. I would say me and him have like a good relationship. We would talk privately. I would message him privately with any issues, and he'd get them resolved for me ASAP. I always bought the non-escrow, the unlocked version, so they were more expensive. So, I spent honestly a lot of money through him, and he would always, directly message me after he released something new with like a coupon code and stuff like that, just to say thanks. And there's a good chance. There's a good chance that he would do us right, I would say. I'm not sure what he's
his
going to do for
website
everyone,
is
but
delisted like everything.
everything that he didn't like recently make himself, like kind of more on the scratch side, is gone. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's just got bikes and a helicopter now. Everything else is gone.
Yeah.
All the medic category is completely empty.
Yeah. I think because they were all originally IRL.
Sure. Yeah.
Whatever they're called, renders or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he said multiple times that he's working on redoing it all and stuff like that. Yeah, all his cars are still available for download and everything if you already bought them, so there's no issue there for us. But
yeah, yeah.
There's just been
I think that's the same with the others, but yeah.
Yeah, big stale period of not having new cars coming for him has been unfortunate because the desire for more vehicles is kind of endless with the department.
Yeah, for sure. And his cars have always kind of just been an instant buy.
Yep, always been like low poly, come with great liveries, 5-seaters, tons of modifications, lots of attention to detail for the police stuff. So.
Well, hopefully he makes a return.
I'd imagine sometime this year.
Yeah.
I'm always.
He's maybe going to do a big release and do them all at the same time or something.
Yeah, I think so too. There's no way he wouldn't have hasn't completed a couple by now.
Yeah.
I'm always on the lookout though on the 5M releases page, looking for anything new, like EMS vehicles, for example, for potential options. It's just really strict on what I'm going to buy, I suppose.
For sure. There's a chance red zones can give more XP. No, probably not. I think passive XP generally isn't a good thing. I definitely don't want to increase passive XP. The only thing red zone related that might happen in the short term, I'm seriously considering taking one of the red zones out of the real world and putting it into the arena. I just need to figure out how the mechanics should work, how many gangs can get involved, what the number that people are talking about in suggestions channel, reducing people's rosters to 15. But if the arena says you can have up to 15 people in the fight, maybe that's better. Maybe that levels that playing field anyway. Not every gang's going to have 25 online anyway. So I don't know. Right. I think 15 is that. It would be a more competitive number. You can bring your 15 best, and then you've still got room for friends and stuff. And your gang doesn't need to be 25 dead-ass shooters or whatever. So it's something I've been thinking about. It's definitely pretty high on my list. I was thinking about starting it today. I didn't. I've had a busy day, so I've done nothing. Actually, I've done some stuff, but not a lot. Pushed some fixes and a new pad. Which I think I'm going to steal for myself, though.
The one with the pipe?
Yeah.
Nice.
He's cool. I like him. I'm like, oh, shit. Kayla's been asking me for the longest time to make like an OAP gang. And I was like, fuck, now I have to.
Okay.
An OAP gang, like old age pensioners.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, try to get Harold back.
Oh, that's not gonna happen. But
Maybe some off-stream shenanigans.
yeah, but yeah, tempted. I know the diving for pair. We don't have a solution. I don't know what. If I give them the remote thing, I'm going to get even more crying about them being paid to win. So I don't know what to do with diving and not have people chirp up that it's pay to win. There's literally no good solution that isn't giving them an advantage. Fuck this cameraman.
We've swapped issues. Mine hasn't been killing itself, and yours has just been blurry.
Your camera's been good for a while.
Yeah, I didn't do anything.
Yeah, well, scuba gear as an item is a thing that we have for cops, and that's what I'm saying. We could absolutely give it to pairs, but people will absolutely cry that's pay to win. There's not a chance in how they won't. And timing-wise, that would be bad because people are already crying about one of them being paid to win. So I'm definitely not doing it right now. Yeah.
I was going to suggest for your arena turf thing. We talked about it beforehand, and pretty much if your 15 versus 15 was, we give you the guns. The reward I was going to suggest is like the dice roll on a class 2 weapon, but a guaranteed win. So the recipe.
So
it already exists.
My thought for it was, it's not going to be provided gear.
Okay.
It's going to be you will lose your gear if you die. Kind of just so that it's kind of as similar to current Red Zone as possible, because I want people to want it, basically. And so I'm trying not to make it as vastly different from the current system as I can. I know it's inevitable that the way you're going to get into it is going to be different. There's not going to be a fear of a third party come in. There's going to be one of the pain points, I guess, will be if you die in there and your guys win, what happens? Maybe your team just gets auto revived and you actually do get to keep your stuff. But to do that, it becomes exploitable. I could fix that. It's just complicated. It's not an easy solution. But I definitely think moving towards that makes it more interesting, potentially revives this competitive stuff that people are crying has been dead. So I don't know. I think it's worth. How would it be exploitable? Because if I don't wipe your gear as soon as you hit the floor, you can just log out.
Looks like we're not going to win. Let's log out, guys.
Yeah. So I would have to wipe your gear the second you hit the floor, and then when you win the game, remember what your gear was and give it back to you. That's how I would fix it. Part of dev work is immediately thinking, how can someone cheat this? Because if there's a way to do it, people will do it. And whilst I'm thinking of a feature, I'm thinking at the same time, how can it be abused?
Yeah.
It's part of the process.
Something like prison where they kind of stash your inventory separately.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, there's definitely ways around it. There's ways to make it work. I just
And your idea is that the winning team would get the loadouts of everyone who's died on the enemy team.
Not necessarily all of them. We could do a roll on each person's gear and just throw them the gear. Maybe they would get the turf. That'd be the main objective, obviously. So you get ownership of the turf. I know.
I like the idea of it not being everyone always. You can just roll. I mean, part of me desires that if you die and the game ends and you lost, you can do a little dice roll, and that dice roll is what determines if you lose your gear or keep your gear.
Well, the dice roll could be there's 3 outcomes, I guess. 1, the other team gets your gear. 2, nobody gets your gear. 3, you keep your gear.
I like that. Yeah.
That way, it's not guaranteed losses. You have some chance of keeping stuff. They have a chance to have some team chance of getting stuff, and there's also a chance for a little bit of eco drain for stuff to go bye-bye.
Yeah, there definitely needs to be an eco drain. The eco drain is going to be less than what it usually would be, kind of.
But
'Cause
probably
will definitely do happen.
depending. Yeah, maybe. But
I
yeah,
think people like getting people's gear. I mean, there's a good opportunity because of this. People are going to bring their lowest durability weapons, just to spite you. But still, you know.
Yeah, I guess, and that's fine. At the end of the day, it's why not?
Anyways, yeah.
If it's encouraging people to play it, then that's what people are after, right? So that's really what we're trying to achieve. You know, if 15 people want to come with just pistols and try to odds at winning some class 2s off of a better equipped gang that can't shoot, fair game, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, I think the plan will be to steal one of the existing red zones and put it into the system. I don't know which one. My first kind of thought
One
would
that has
probably
good
be
even
corpse, but
not corpse.
Not corpse.
Well, I'm just saying, based off of what I just said, like one that has good spawn points, you could place them to be where it's even, where people they can't be like, oh, we spawned here, we just have a disadvantage immediately. Like corpse isn't that map, but I don't know.
I don't know if you spawn one group at one staircase and the other group at the other staircase. Is that not?
Oh, like one on Bell and one on whatever.
I can't remember the other ones.
Mosley.
Mostly, yeah, I think that's his name. Yeah.
So the purpose of the stairs by the car park and the stairs on the grass
near satellites down that way. Yeah. Would that not be kind of equal? You're both immediately able to get to several different levels.
We have to see. It'd be like a race to go up.
Yeah. I think in general for Arena, what I want to do is, at the moment we're recording who plays a match, who wins a match, and the game mode. I'd like to also record the map you played on and the team you were on, so that I can start to see some data to say, hey, on this map, this team wins 90% of matches, and be like, okay, well, the spawns on this map are clearly broken, and adjust. You'd think people would speak up about that. I've not really heard anything about any of the maps being unbalanced. A lot of our maps are symmetrical, so it's not the case always. But there's definitely, like, I've been watching some gameplay, and some of them, like in, what is it, the oil one? One side can get up onto a roof where the other side can't. In fact, same for the little circle marketplace. One side can get up onto a roof and the other side can't. Not really heard any complaints about it, but it is definitely not the same spawn on both sides. How much impact that makes on the odds of winning, I don't know, but it is a difference, and I'd be interested to see the data.
I think containers might be, because that's technically at this point it's almost like a rectangle, so you could spawn people on both far sides.
Mm-hmm.
When I was setting up the gang wars for that map, I haven't heard anything about it, so I don't know if it went well or not. But I set the spawns like kind of at a running distance from the first containers, so they don't just like right on them. They kind of have to. There's a little bit of build up time where they're all sprinting into the area.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of what I did with the Grove Street ones. I tried to put both sides. That's probably a really big arena actually, but they're quite far away. But then you get the full street and all the back gardens for both sides of the street. So I also have never heard any feedback on that map, and that was the first and been in there for so long. But I don't know. People just don't.
We need a quick question there.
I assume if it was bad, people would have said something, but I don't know.
The only time I've heard people complain about maps so far was that island map that I put out, and I just got rid of it.
Oh, and I had the yacht one that people complained about, and I got rid of it. Yeah. True. Those are the only feedbacks I've really heard without going out of my way to try and be like, what do you think of this map?
It's shit, mate. Okay.
Yeah. Add a map around Pluto Sandy. I mean, we are adding maps to all the different game modes quite frequently, I'd say. Oh, well, there you go. There is a Sandy one. Yeah. We've been adding quite a few quite regularly. Yesterday I did 72 new spawn points for boosting.
Oh yeah, you just do those yourself?
Yeah, I just whipped around and added them in. I was like between calls, I was like, fuck it, let's do this. This is something I've wanted to do for ages. It's only for the class. The lower classes, not the ANS. They require a decent amount of extra setup because you then have to set where everything spawns and stuff. So didn't do that, but I think hopefully for the people that do a lot of boosting that or throw a spanner in their works, they'll be like, "Oh, I know all the spawn points here." No, you don't. and so, some of them are dead obvious, and some of them are sneaky. I'm gonna have people are gonna be like, "It's not spawning." I'll be like, "Oh, it is."
It did spawn copy, bro.
Yeah, hopefully that makes boosting a little bit more interesting for people who are still running those or leveling it up. But yeah, I want to add some ANS boosts, some new ANS locations too. It's just like I said, a lot more setup.
Okay, more coordinates and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't remember what Oxcore's in. I think they did change. I don't know if it was JavaScript or TypeScript, but I think yeah, it is. It's TypeScript. You're right. But yeah, we've been keeping our eye on that. It is probably the next framework we'll move to. When that happens, no idea. That will be 4.0, I think. But no timeline until they get 1.0 release. And even then, we're not going to immediately jump to it. It's going to be a massive job, I'm sure. But the more stuff we get off of ESX, the better in the meantime. So technically, we're kind of already freeing ourselves off that restriction, because as soon as that happens, everything ESX related will suddenly need to be removed or changed, and it will be a massive undertaking. So
the big thing is like this new, core system would need to have everything that we already do, and if it didn't, we could have them ourselves, but then it makes updating forever difficult. So you kind of got to wait till it's up to date to like nearly what we need.
Yeah.
So that building off of it is such a chore.
For sure, we're definitely not going to be any rush to switch to it. We use a lot of Ox's stuff. We might be switching our fuel system to their one soon, or at least looking at what they've done, because 5M added some new natives for fueling in the past couple of weeks, which means that the game can just do all that stuff on its own. Awesome. They've added, I think we can also detect whether your car's electric and stuff through all those natives and stuff now. Again, awesome, because at the moment I think we just maintain a couple of different lists.
If it's electric, you got to put like 4
ideal
different locations, which I need to do for that new electric PD car.
Whereas with natives now, you can just check whether the car has a fuel tank. Done. So long as it's set up correctly in the meta, I guess, then you'd be all good. So that's cool. But yeah, in terms of Oxcore, one day, don't know when. I doubt it's this year.
I doubt it.
Yeah. We 3.0 is what? Year and a half?
I almost want to say 2 years at this point, but I don't remember.
Is it 2.5? I don't know.
I'll have to find the topic.
2 years or more? Maybe it's like 2.5. Somewhere around there, I guess. But yeah, I suspect that we're at least another half year away from any sort of 4.0.
February 22nd, 2022.
So yeah, like 2.5 years. Yeah, quite well. But ESX has been doing as well, and I mean, it gets a lot of hate. It is an old framework, but we've done so much with it and made it stretch so far that we're not confined by it. I'm sure we will get better performance one day when we're on Ox, probably, but it's not our limiting factor, and it hasn't been for a long time. So I'm not particularly worried or rushed to get away from it. We're definitely not switching to QB or any form of it, because there's no point. Like if we are set on using Oxcore one day, there's no point jumping to another one just to jump to another one. If we've done 2.5 years on ESX, we can manage plenty more time, to be honest. Like there's really no rush.
Yeah, we take an ESX to 600 players.
Exactly, and it can keep going. Like we're not. All of our work lately on performance has paid off to the point where I am confident that we can now go above 600. I'm not that worried about it. In fact, we're at 600 now. The whole new queue thing, I like that we're sort of peaking above 600 now. But I am interested, because we had the queue yesterday as well. I am interested in. I think we are kind of around at the point where it might be time to increase again. Not saying a big number, but
yeah, the queue doesn't get too big, to be honest. It gets to like 20-ish, 20, 30-ish.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind bumping us up to like 620 or something.
620 plays it.
Yeah. I've still got the goal of 666. It's going to happen. That's funny.
I mean, back in the day, we used to just creep up, back when we were growing from 64 to 120, we would just a little bit at a time.
Yeah, exactly. We used to just nudge it up a couple every day. And what's crazy is when we nudge it up, the numbers just follow. Like our numbers, and that's why when we get to a queue, I'm always like, I'd like to push us up and see where it goes to, and then just keep nudging it up. Like CMG, who aren't that far behind us usually. They're our closest UK competition, I'd say. Their server slots is 1,000. I've never seen them at it. I've never seen them above us. But there's no reason that we could set our slots to 1,000 right now. We're not going to hit it. Not anytime soon, anyway. But I prefer sort of teasing the number up and having sort of that ceiling, I guess. Because I also sometimes when I look at servers where, like, if our slots were 1,000 and every day we're way under it, I'm like, what's wrong with that server? I don't know why. Like 600 is still fucking massive, but I'd be like, why is 400 slots empty?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's more for me when I'm looking at servers. I look at servers that are close to full because I think, okay, even if that full number is way higher, I'm like, why isn't it full?
Exactly.
But yeah, so we probably nudge the number. Maybe this week we'll nudge the number up a little bit. It might be time. I think we've put in the work and we can reward ourselves with some extra slots. Psychological messaging. It is completely psychological. Like, obviously, the higher the numbers in general is probably better, and it's nothing to do with the empty space. But to me, for some reason, that empty space just I don't know, makes me feel weirder.
Makes partial sense.
Yeah. Slightly. Looking at today's stats, like between the 4 a.m. restart and up to like there's a lot of like that big purple gap that never used to be like that. We used to always have like some spikes up there. So, in fact, looking at the top line in general, that top line is almost all, other than the end of last night, is almost all clear. So I don't know. It's progress. I like seeing it.
Yeah.
Now let's reverse it with more players. Yeah. There's always the worry that servers balance for high cap. True. 800. Maybe by the end of the year. Who knows?
Crashes every night. No way.
What's the average player count?
Kind of depends on what time of the day you're looking.
Yeah, I mean, we are normally hitting cap every day, which is 600. Late at night, you're looking at just shy of 100, I'd say. So, like at what's that, 5 a.m. It's 90. I don't know who these people are. We've got night owls that are on here for sure, or Americans that refuse to play the American server. It tells you there the median over the last 24 hours is 301, and that obviously balances out nighttime and peak time though. So that's right bang in the middle. So that's good. Obviously, it'd be awesome to be 600 24 hours a day, but that's never going to happen.
I couldn't imagine going to bed in the service full. Like, all right, who's got this shift taken care of? Even though we do have people who do take care of the night shift, but it just, it's manageable with 1 to 2 people. But if it was 600, good God.
When I go to bed, there is like 400 or 500 people online usually. You're obviously up much later than me, so
yeah.
It'll dump down before you.
When it's busier sometimes.
Yeah.
If you go to bed like at 11 or 12 o'clock your time, it can be full still.
Yeah. Which is awesome. It is really awesome to see.
Yeah, I remember when I was visiting you, I was like, it was in your time zone. I'm like, fuck, it's getting late. I gotta go to bed. I'm like, it's fucking busy as shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's good to have the different time zone coverage.
Yeah, it helps a lot. Now we just need some Australians.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what to do about NA. Make it busier. I'm glad there's people who are still there playing and enjoying it.
Yeah, for sure. There is a dedicated set of people there. I just assigned another captain to it today to try and help police numbers because I'm still not happy with the number of police over there, and I think lack of police ultimately means lack of crims, which ultimately means lack of players. So it's tough. And I know that if you're logging in as a cop and you're the only cop, you might not want to play. So it's a tough cycle to get out of. But there are people on it at all hours of the day. There's very rarely ever nobody on, which is encouraging because it means people are coming to it every day. There are people making gangs over there and whatnot. So there's still hope there. It goes through phases. Sometimes it'll get really popular and then it'll fizzle a little bit and then get popular again. But it is what it is.
We could try boosting it, but I don't know.
The tough thing about N8,
like to get on the list.
Yeah, if you're not on the list, I'm not really sure what the point of boosting is. So the top boost is 6,375. It's fucking disgusting how much money that must cost. Like, that's just wild. And then 5K, 5K, 4, 4, 3, 2, 2. So you'd have to buy thousands to get on the front page, and it's going to cost a bomb. It just doesn't seem feasible. How does the
front page have a freaking Element Club, like gray, freaking server with 3 players on it? And there's one server with 10 cap, 1 player on it. And the dev server with 2,000 boosts. Like, bruh, like what? Like, look into that. Like, that's some freaking money laundering going on.
Yeah.
So weird. Yeah, I don't know what boost would do, to be honest.
No, I don't think I don't think it'd help. It needs word of mouth. It needs what EU had. We've had our streamers over there, and it helped, and we did get up to like 100 players. But it's not. At the end of the day, we want Americans to play it, and all that we're doing, we're bringing over Europeans. And when the streamers left, the people left, and what was left was not really any new actual American players. So I was hoping that by boosting it up, and if they were playing late at night, Americans would start to log in and be like, "Oh, new server, let's go try that." It hasn't really happened. It's
You need
hard
to
to
find some
know.
American community to absorb.
Yeah, for sure. If we could like just buy out another US server and just throw them in, I'd be game.
Get like Serpico server.
Serpico. Well, you can still be a dev if you want.
It's not. I don't think anyone would ever do that. To be fair,
I don't either. I think at the end of the day, if
Cool
your
in theory,
server's
though.
successful, you wouldn't give it up. Like I
Right.
don't think we'd give ours up. Like why would we? Unless you're offering a disgusting amount of money.
Which we can't offer. So
No, exactly. Yeah.
it's like if the case was like it's not profitable for them and
Yeah.
too much effort, and they're kind of wanting to maybe pack it in.
Yeah. But at that point, is it if it's not profitable, how many players are they getting? Where are they going wrong that we can fix? Like, are these players actually going to come across, or is it just a lost cause? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If we're gonna sponsor a streamer, we'd have to like it'd have to be a whitelisted server.
Yeah.
You're cutting out, sorry.
That would play public, but if you want like a bigger streamer, then they're not going to play public server because all the followers will just jump on and go nuts, and having dedicated staff to follow a streamer around and protect them is probably not anybody's idea of fun. But yeah, we tried whitelisting with Red-M, and Red-M is in a much worse boat than NA. I don't know what we're going to do about Red-M. I've not seen life on there for a while.
We kind of have like a baseline server set up for it. That's our own repo. So whenever we get back into gear of things, we have a nice place to start off with.
Yeah, that's kind of my thought on it as well. It's I still think our server is better than a lot of the competition there. I think if we get around to giving it more time and attention, it can definitely be up there. But it's the same issue we have with the NA server in that we need to actually have a way to lure people in and keep them in. But because there was no, we got into Red-M because we thought 5M were going to start giving it a bunch of attention. It's not happened. And so it's kind of in limbo. But yeah, our code is done. It's there. It's sitting. It's ready. I mean, it's on. It's live. So hopefully we do cycle around, and if Red-M picks up, because the next problem, like I've said, is even if the server got popular, Red-M only supports like 24 players in an area, which sucks. Like Kaylee plays Red-M still, and she goes on other servers, and when 24 people are in like Valentine, people get told to leave. It's like on GTA, we have problems with 128, I think it is, and that's when people's hair color starts to flicker, you start getting Danny faces, and you lose your tattoos and stuff. It's way worse on Red-M because you just can't see each other. You can't see them, you can't hear them. It's just not built for it. And until they fix that, I'd be worried about having a popular Red-M server. I don't want to have to police towns and be like, you need to leave. So, I don't know.
Sorry, I was just the server was just going through a hiccup there. some reason MySQL was taking a shit. I did manage to get a couple of queries that were hanging up, copied and pasted, thankfully. Looks like it was arena related for some reason, but yeah, I posted some screenshots.
Where am I looking?
Development.
Oh,
I think getting something like Arena kind of on Reddit at some point would be a cool little thing just to have.
what would be cool to have, sorry?
The Arena on Reddit at some point. Like you know how like we had like those like there was like those like bandit camps, you know, you could fight through those through the arena, you could control them or something.
Yeah.
It's like instead of like us using our neighborhood system like how it currently is, we could before we even get into that kind of thing, we'll have the arena system to kind of decide if that's how we want to do those activities. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Just thoughts. We'll see whenever we get there. Whenever we cross that road.
Yeah. Is there anything else you wanted to cover off?
I don't think so. Looking forward to a lot of the stuff. Looking forward to the that one more NPC guy at the airport and whenever you cook up the actual red zone fighting.
Yeah, gotta figure it out. Gotta figure out what the plan is. I have no idea what. I don't know what I'm gonna work on next, but it's one of those things. Whatever the day tells me to make.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can find someone first to go to.
I think we're adding the garbage back soon, Stone.
Yeah, I think Happy and Alan have been looking at it, right?
Yeah. Any returning thoughts to PD pockets for Crims reobtaining seized items? You know, like a very specific way. Yeah, I'm down for it. Where it's like if the cop is in zip ties, and you can be like, whatever the interact button is, and it only takes stuff from the inventory from like a whitelisted list that we have. So like you can take back any drugs and drug paraphernalia or whatever, and civilian guns and civilian illegal guns. It could take off them, but if it wasn't like that, then I don't foresee us ever unlocking the ability to just drag items out of their pockets directly.
Yeah, I do want a way for you to get your stuff back, but I like you said, I don't want it to be just open season because it promotes the wrong kind of gameplay. It's already bad enough trying to control civ versus gang stuff. I don't want to be giving gangs versus cops. I don't want to be giving people any reason to be trying to rob cops. It's just shit roleplay. I don't know. We've got other stuff to do. But yeah, it's definitely like we've tried to fix some of it, so we made it so that you can get into the trunks again, so that when they're doing raids and whatnot, you have a chance to get your stuff back out the trunk. Obviously, they have pockets, and that part is basically protected at the moment. They're not supposed to keep things in their pockets, but if you start to fight back, you can't expect them to go empty their pockets into the truck whilst taking shots. So it's not an ideal world. But at the same time, if you kill them, you won't get them back out the pockets anyway. So I don't fucking know. Yeah, it's not a perfect solution, but it's also not terrible. Yeah. Yep. Happy multitasking? No. Happy only does one thing and then he sees it through to completion. Then he does another thing. He would never take on multiple tasks at the same time and do none of them.
Wonder what Happy is working on.
Well, I keep chasing him to finish the API stuff.
Oh yeah. Thought you were taking that over. Are you taking it over by forcing him to take it over or finish it?
I was gonna take it over, but then he said, "I'm almost done. It's done."
That was like days ago.
Yeah, it was days ago, and then I chased him for my wipe command today because I wanted to wipe someone. Because I got somebody made my first appeal on the appeals portal came through. I got the notification this morning, woke up, opened it, and then there was no identifiers on the appeals page. So I was like, Alex, I need identifiers. I'm not going to search for this person. So he's added it to that. Great. Then I copied it in, went to wipe them. The command's fucking gone. I'm like, right, Happy.
What the fuck, dude?
My next blocker. This guy will get wiped and unmanned at one point, but not until all my tools are working. Right.
Find someone to raid.
Yeah, I've got someone. I'm gonna raid. Let me start the raid. Here we go.
Thanks to everyone who stuck around the whole time.
Yeah. Thanks for sticking around, guys. It's been a good stream this week. I think we've done it's been a good week of content, fixes, updates. Server stability 2 has been good this week. We've not had any major issues, so good stuff.
Whatever the heck just happened just now.
Well, at least 600 people didn't drop. It looks like maybe 10.
Yeah, exactly.
That's an acceptable number. More jobs are needed. Disagree.
Make your own job. Last job I made for myself was being like an armor dealer. Just getting the supplies for armor, making it myself, and selling it. I liked it a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, Happy. Some of you will die, and that is a risk I'm willing to take. Anyway, yeah, cool. Thanks for stopping by, guys. We'll catch you guys next time. Oh, summer sale started today. It's on until the end of August. It's, I think, 20% off most of the stuff. We also added some new. This stream's about to end in a second, but we added some new mansions on the beach. Go buy them.
Mansions, bungalows, single bedroom mansions.
Shit, I don't know. We got 5 seconds. Bye.
Mansions on the water.
Fuck, I panicked.